Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Did it get you?
It did.
I actually had the conscious decision earlier today to put paper towels in the bear studio. So here you go, sir.
It mostly got me, mercifully.
Well, that's good. As long as
Now that
it's
we've
not
got coasters,
as long as it's not on the board, that's all that matters. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. I just got back from Louisville, Kentucky. Got back.
that's where you went.
Yeah, I went to Louisville, if you didn't know. Hence the shirt, louder than life. It was a rocking good time, but thankfully we did find the time. Just on for one day on Sunday, we walked 4 miles from our campsite and the festival grounds to a brewery that we've been to before. Last time we were in Louisville was for Bourbon and Beyond, and we had, I think, a couple different breweries and stuff, but this one was definitely the standout. So we knew we wanted to go back, and I wanted to get beers for the show. And so we hit Atrium, which is down there in Louisville. And because I like IPAs and my BB likes sours, those were the 4-pack I got to go. I got, four packs to make a show's worth. So the first round is going to be sours. And I think the one that you popped is actually sort of their staple, if you will.
It would be their flagship sour.
I guess because that was the one that we tried last time. So obviously it's been there for at least a year. So that would lead me to believe that that's the case.
Berry Boy, and it's a fruited sour. So blackberry, raspberry, vanilla. The thing that really stands out about this one to me though is the ABV on it, 6.5%, which, I mean, granted, not a high ABV for like an IPA or like, but for a sour, that's getting up there in numbers.
Borderline an imperial for a sour, I would say.
Pretty impressive.
And not to one up you, but obviously, if since I'm the one that gets to delegate the beers and it's a sour, so I'm gonna go with the bigger ABV.
Oh,
the 7.5 Blackberry French Toast Donut Boy, which is a Blackberry French Toast Donut Boy. It's pastry sour, basically. And this one, I think it's got the Atrium logo, but it also has North Lime Coffee and Donuts. So I guess a bit of a collab here. And
hopefully probably just the donut. I can't imagine coffee in a sour.
Yeah, I know we just recently did a whole show about weird combinations, but I will go ahead, and if you're watching on the Facebook or the YouTube or whatever, the colors of these are pretty outstanding. I mean, there's definitely going to be some blackberry. I know didn't we just recently have a blackberry beer that you couldn't really get the blackberry or something? I got to film these.
Yeah, that was that was the Three Floyds. I can't remember what the name.
Or was it the mango? The mango that
maybe it was
coming
the mango.
through.
Yeah, we weren't getting the fruit, which I mean, that one was delicious, but I do like, particularly when you're dealing with blackberry. I don't want that like kick in the face. I love blackberries. That's easily my favorite berry of all time.
Favorite even fruit, would you say? I feel like we did a whole fruit conversation not too long ago either. Favorite berry, though.
I mean, if you're being like pedantic, tomatoes would be my favorite fruit. But if we're talking like actual traditional, like you'd put it in a parfait, blackberries hands down.
All right, I'll give you that. I don't know what my favorite berry would be.
Not strawberry.
Definitely not strawberry. Maybe a cranberry, raspberries.
I do like cranberries. I like raspberries.
Cherry wouldn't count as a berry, right? It doesn't end in a berry, but it seems like it could be in that family.
It's there. It's got to be. If cranberries are a berry, they're very similar to cherries, and in the way they kind of grow.
Yeah, I don't know. We digress.
Well, that's a hell of a conversation. Are grapes a berry?
I was about to go there next, but I was trying to get off the fruit because I feel like we talked about fruit.
Wine's my favorite fruit.
Wine is my favorite beer. So I guess we'll save the untapping for later. But so yeah, we went out on Sunday. We did a bit of a walk. It's a 4-day rock and metal festival. So by day 4, you're pretty tired. Let's be honest, but not tired enough to walk 4 miles for beer. But that being said, we wanted to get up at a decent enough time. The brewery didn't open till 11. So BB she's like, okay, well, maybe we can find a place for breakfast, brunch on the way there. And wouldn't you know it, right on the way was a place called Breakfast AF. And I think we all know what AF stands for.
And you know what they do there.
Yeah. And so they're open from like early morning till like 2:30. And then they reopen 4 till midnight or something as Pizza AF. So it's a pizza joint slash breakfast
I like it.
Yeah. And we got the chicken and waffles, and I got just a more typical breakfast thing. She got some avocado dealie that was good. But what was funny was I was wearing my Pennywise shirt, and as I'm looking at the menu, the cook happens to look over and sees my shirt. He's like, "You like Pennywise?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "I actually almost took a job as the head cook at one of their restaurants in Hermosa Beach." And I was like, no kidding, man. He was like, yeah, I ended up, I guess not doing it, whatever. I can't remember what he said, but
there's a story there.
But then he said, this was Sunday. He said, "I'm actually going to be going you here for the festival." I was like, yeah. He's like, "I'm actually going to be there later today because we're catering for Green Day." And then he was telling me the story of when he's catered for Metallica and all this. So needless to say,
they know what they're doing.
This is a good place and it obviously very rocker friendly because they're getting pulled to come in and cater on the regular for rock stars.
I always love when you run into that. There was I don't know if it's still there. I know it was like back when I was still at Radford. There's a diner across from the Fillmore in Charlotte.
Okay.
And you go into the diner. I only know this from experience. We left after the Motorhead show and went over to the diner to, kill some time, get some breakfast before we, just trying to wait out the traffic. And in the jukebox was nothing but like heavy metal. And everyone in the diner, like, apparently just latched on to Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. So, like, we sat there in that diner and listened to Number of the Beast in its entirety. Like,
the whole album. Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, someone obviously, like, A, dumped a lot of coin on this, but B, like, never going to get this experience again.
That's one of the things I do remember about, like, for whatever reason, particularly the Pizza Hut where I grew up had a jukebox, and it was the kind with where it would have the album cover and then the CD and then the listings, and you'd hit the page and then the page would flip. And I was thinking, man, I should probably get one of those because I still have all of my CDs. How sweet would it be to put them in a jukebox and do them that way? Right now, all my CDs are basically just in a box down in the basement. Like, what good is that doing?
That's, I think, possibly one of the best ideas you've ever had. Now,
and now
would the wife go for that?
Well, what I'll have to do, it's going to be a while. It won't work in our current housing situation. But once I get my, man cave, and I'll rebuy my Tetris machine and foosball table, and I have a pool table and all that sort of jazz, I think I'll have to get a jukebox and do it like that.
Fantastic plan.
But the hard part is I mean, how many CDs can they have? I feel like it's probably up to like maybe 500 or something, but that's still not enough. I mean, I have to get
the hard part. The hard part's going to be putting in the cut numbers, because I feel, I mean, depending on what jukebox you get, you have to like manually code all that in.
I got time for something like that.
You'll make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, the cool thing about that would be like just revisiting all the, oh damn, I forgot I had this CD.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I frankly, I've thought about how I should really need to go through and cycle through them. And case in point, I was actually just looking at some of the retro lunch tracks. I was like, man, I really should probably just grab some of my CDs and bring those in and rip some stuff and get you some more stuff to play in that noon hour.
We'll make it a bear project.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We'll put Kyle to work. So
he would do it.
Oh, of course. Good old Kyle. K-Dog.
So what was the biggest takeaway from Louder Than Life, other than beer?
Biggest takeaway was it was nice being at a festival, rock festival, done right. I couldn't tell you how many times a different festival was brought up this past weekend
I can believe
by
it.
comparison. But I did just sit back every now and then and just took it all in because it's such a massive undertaking. And I got the press release not too long ago. Once again, Louder Than Life is the biggest rock festival in North America. I mean, it is huge.
Yeah.
180,000 rock fans came out for that, is what they said. I'm not too sure how they came up to that calculation, if it's specific, like single day passes versus, if you got a 4-day wristband, they only count you as one. I don't know how they came up to that, but 180,000 is what it said. And just looking around and just seeing even just the VIP section alone, I'm like, it's just this huge tent. They got all this barricades. They got all the different towers for the sound system, the stages. I mean, there was 2, 4, 6 stages, 7 or 8 if you count like the little ones that are in, certain different setups and stuff. So it's huge. It's crazy. It's awesome.
My biggest takeaway from the outside, because I was here, is logistically, it seems like it would be a nightmare, but it seems like Danny Wimmer, they're not going to half-ass anything. But it seemed like there were so many moments that you guys got that were, it didn't feel like there were like 180,000 people there. It didn't feel like there were that many people there. It kind of still all flowed. And I saw people were like checking into camping with their RVs and like done in a half hour in their spot.
Oh, it was even faster than that. The only thought I had was we pulled in, and then there wasn't really great signage of, do I go right here? Do I go? So I actually went and just was wandering through a parking lot, not the RV parking lot. This is not the right way. I should have turned this way. But once we did, we went up to the security. They pop in. You got any glass? They look through some cupboards and stuff. Make sure there's, you don't got anything, right? No joke. We were through security and went and found our spot in, maybe 10 minutes.
That's
maybe
impressive.
10 minutes. And
you didn't have to ride a shuttle to get to the festival.
No, not at all. Ironically, the spot that we had was the exact same spot that we had at Bourbon and Beyond the year before. Now, that was sort of by design. I didn't really see people directing us, and I knew what we kind of wanted to go there because our RV spot was in a little section that was right next to a hotel. And it worked great because that hotel would block the sun in the morning. So you would have that shade to keep it cool. So I was like, if we can get back in that area, that'd be great. And sure enough, I went there. And then our exact spot was available. I was like, well, that's convenient. Let's just go ahead and plop it here. Yeah.
So, that would be my other question, is a scenario like that. You obviously can't leave your RV running all day. Like, if you were in a spot that wasn't great, do you like, I don't know what time the last set was, but I'm assuming it probably ended about
like 11.
Yeah, so it probably ended about 12:30, 1.
Well, the last band is they were done by 11.
Okay.
So
you get back and you're like tired from a day of rocking. Do you really want to bother with setting everything up and getting the AC going? Or?
Well, you don't even need it. I was amazed. It was 80. It got up to the mid 80s every day and sunny, but by nightfall, it cooled off. Like, it was getting down to low 60s at night.
All right.
So by the time you get to the campsite at 11:30, midnight or whatever, it's been dark for 4 hours, 5 hours, and it's already cool in the RV. You leave a couple of the windows open to vent and let the cool air in and stuff and the hot air out, and it was fine. Temperature wasn't an issue. The thing that was a bit different between Louder Than Life and Bourbon and Beyond the year before were the quiet hours. At Louder Than Life, camping quiet hours are 3 a.m. to 8 a.m.
That prime 5 hours of quiet.
Yeah, exactly. And some a-holes don't even abide by that and leave their generators running all night long, which actually led us to moving from our site that we had the year before slightly down to try and get away from some noise.
We've had to do that here at the station, leave the generators running all night for like a week at a time. And
Oh, those
Once
things.
those shut off, like you don't realize how much of an effect that has on your hearing.
Oh yeah, when it's just
Like,
constantly
I
there.
still have flashbacks and like hear that like
Yeah, and imagine that times at least probably 10 or so within earshot
oh
that are
God.
running. Yeah, so you know, rock festival camping versus Bourbon and Beyond, which is more of just different genres and
Yeah.
quite different, I would say. Same with the people watching and just being in the festival. It's much different caliber of people, I would say.
Those are your diehards.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, like the Louder Than Life are more my people.
Bourbon and Beyond's just casual. Like you said, it's people who are like, man, there's no band I'm dying to see, but I'm going to this festival.
Yeah, it's more like they're more there to party and have a good time versus the diehards. So I can talk a lot more about, and maybe we'll delve into more of the bands and stuff and whatnot here in a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and untap these beers from Atrium Brewing right there in Louisville. A cool spot. We didn't get any food. In fact, I don't remember if we ate there last year or not. But I looked at the menu and I got excited because they had
Pretzel sticks.
they had the pretzel. They also had a couple other things I can't remember that sounded good. So I was like, oh yeah, great. We can definitely eat there. But then of course we hit breakfast AF beforehand. So we were pretty full. Wanted to just focus on the beer. But the food I think is probably pretty damn good. And of course the beer is phenomenal. I'll let you start because I think mine is a bit of a derivative of yours. So
this is absolutely delicious. The only ding I would have for it is that it's not sour enough. I'm not getting enough of that tartness. It's kind of like I'm drinking a blackberry cobbler, which is not the worst thing in the world by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to get high marks. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.5.
I think, and I could be mistaken, and in fact, I can confirm it because there's a handy dandy beer app, which is what he's referring to with his score. It's called Untapped. DreZ Drinks is my handle. Big Nate Danger sits next to me. And basically, it's just a great way to keep track of your beers and see what you're thinking and all that good stuff. And as I mentioned, what was it called? The Berry Boy or something? Yep. That one was on tap when we were there last. So I can even tell you, oh no, I did not like that one. I must have been thinking of a different sour.
What'd you give it?
I actually went through. I'll see what I think when I gave that one a 3.25 my first time I tried it. But there were a couple sours from the last time we were there that I did give a pretty good high mark. And I think it was because it was this calorie. I guess they always have maybe a pastry sour on tap. Last one, it was a lemon bar, if I'm not mistaken. So it was something like that. This one, a French toast donut boy. I am a French toast donut boy. I love French toast. I love donuts. And as you mentioned, I think one of the things about these blackberry beers that they have aren't super sour, which obviously I'm not a huge fan of. It's coming in at 7.5%, and it's sweet. It's tasty. This one's probably right there too, a 4.5, man. It is good. So Atrium, the brewery, is known for their sours. They're known for their hazies, which we're going to do next. They're also known for their lagers. So a nice little across the board. They're also in the Germantown area. So you'll see, that's why you got the lagers. I think the best beer I had there was actually, believe it or not, a Marzen. They had a Marzen that was pretty damn good. I think they got the best mark for me.
A good Marzen.
But the reason why that one was probably the best was because the two beers that I brought back, I didn't try because I knew I was going to bring them back and do it on the show, which is what we will do coming up after this. It's Brewsday Tuesday, Louder Than Life Louisville edition right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.